So people have asked me about different exercises. Today I'm going to talk about low back stabilization exercises. To do that, all you need is your own body. You don't need any fancy equipment. So I'm going to drop down. I'm going to show you some stuff you can do right now. So the first thing we can do, you drop down, do a plank. Okay? So I'm going to do a plank. I'm going to do a plank here. The biggest thing is going to be, am I going to suck my belly button into my stomach or into my spine? So I take my belly button and I suck it in, right? I want to keep my back flat. I don't want my back to sag like that. That's not good for the joints in the low back. But I also don't want to do that either because it's not a pike position, okay? So I'm flat right here, just like if I was going to put a plate on my back. Now, I want to make this harder because I don't want it to be boring either, but I could stay here for 30 seconds and be done. And some people do that, or I could stay here for a minute or 2 minutes, but I really want to get to where I'm unstable because instability is what's going to create the biggest change in my low back. What muscles am I trying to work here? I'm actually trying to work my multifidi, which are the stabilizers of my low back. The multifidi go all the way up your spine, from your sacrum all the way to your occiput. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to make this a little bit harder. So I might stay here for 30 seconds, and then, for 5 seconds, and then for the next set of seconds, could be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever I want, is I go here, right? I do TikToks, right? I can go side to side, right? I could also do the splits, right? Where I do this, or you could call them jumping jacks, or whatever you want to call them. The whole time, I'm sucking in my belly button, right? I don't want to let myself sag. I want to suck my belly button in. The next one I can do, so I go here, right? Call them TikToks if you want. You can go here, okay? You can call them jumping jacks, and then you can do here, where you just do hops. Okay, then from there I could even do this where I could go up here and I could do knee raises, right? But what I do a lot of times is I'll tell people, start with the hardest part, and that might be the movements. So I might do the TikTok for 10 seconds, and then I hold for 10 seconds. And then I might do another movement for 10 seconds, I hold for 10 seconds. Or I do all my movement, and at the end I hold, because the holding is going to be the easiest thing to do. So I don't want to do that first, I'm going to do that last. Now, once I get in better shape, I can do this for a total of a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Now, I can actually go do other things too. That's going to work my low back, but I can go this way. I'm going to go onto my back. Okay, everybody knows the traditional bridge. It's this, right? So I just bridge up in the air, right? I get my torso in alignment with my thighs. So I don't go to here because it's not in alignment. There's an angle there, so I go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to here, and then from there, I'm going to straighten my leg. Now from there, I could go down and up, down and up. I'm going to feel that a lot more in my quad than I'm going to feel my low back. So what I want to do for my low back is I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go here, straighten my leg, and then from here, all the movement's going to come from this hip. I rotate down and back up. I rotate down and back up. Rotate down and back up. And I may do 5 on that side, and then I'll switch sides. Right? So what's the key on this one? The key on this one is I keep my torso in alignment with my thigh. Right here, okay? I don't let it drop down here. I stay here. But when I drop, all the movement comes from this hip. This leg is going along for the ride. A lot of people want to do this, but my pelvis isn't moving. Only my leg is twisting out. But if I go here and I drop down, now it's coming from here. My pelvis is dropping on the right side. My left side staying stable, and the leg's going to turn out just a little bit. I'll do it on this side, show you. So I drop down, back up, down, back up, down, back up. So what I recommend a lot of times on that is when you can do 25 in the right, 25 in the left, 25 in the right, 25 in the left, 25 right, 25 left, going back and forth like that, now you have a very stable low back. And that's where you need to be. You need to have a stable low back to be able to do the 25 right, 25 left, go right back, 25 right, 25 left, right back, 25 right, 25 left. You have a very, very stable low back. Okay, so I'll add one more exercise. So this I'm going to call the power T. That's what most people call it. So it's going to be like this because I look like the letter T. I could be down on my elbow. I could be here. I could go this way. The whole idea is going to be this. I drop down, back up, down, and back up, down, and back up. So in doing that, I'm going to drop down, back up, down, back up, down, back up. And then I could do lifts from here. I could go here. I could come up here, right? I could do different things. I could go down and hold it there. So I'm getting a stretch, but I'm also getting a contraction at the same time. And then come up, come down, come back up. Okay? And then I'm going to switch to the other side. So again, that's more of a time. I might do that for 30 seconds on the right, come over to the left, do 30 seconds, or do 30 repetitions. Again, the hardest part is going to be the movement, this part. So once I get tired, then I can just hold it, right? And so it's maybe a total of 30 seconds or a 30 count, however you want that to be, but it's gonna be up and down, and that's gonna be a hold, right? Now, when it comes to the low back stabilization, right, when I go back to this one, what am I working here? I'm gonna work my lateral glute muscles, I'm gonna work my hamstring some, I'm gonna work my quad, I'm gonna work my gluteus maximus, I'm gonna work my low back erector spinae, but I'm also gonna work the multifidi when I'm doing that. When I'm doing the plank, I'm basically working my multifidi. Gonna work your quads a little bit, gonna work your shoulders a little bit, your chest a little bit. That's not really what it's designed for, but it's really designed for the multifidi, the low back. And then when I'm doing the power T, when I'm doing this one, I'm working the QL, oops. I'm working this one, I'm working QL on the left side, the side that's closest to the ground, or it's also called the quadratus lumborum, or the QL. If you got any questions, let me know. You will love that workout.